Cool. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live here at Vintage Classic Solutions. It's raining out, and all the snow here on White Sand Island is all the white sand on here on White Sand Island is magically being washed out to shore. Hope everyone's doing awesome. We have a look at things I have found. Hey EJ, what'd you find? You're about to see what I found out and about. All these items are from various places in various times. Various places and various places in time. But I found these things, all these things, and we're gonna look at them. There's a lot. There's a lot. So if you like this kind of stuff, you are in the right place. Let me get set up. There's a lot to look at here. This is going to be fun. Found this. We're going to go through all this stuff. This is a great object. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. This is a blow mold. We'll start the show. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live at Vintage Classic Solutions, my antique and vintage store. I'm a professional vintage and antique dealer. Here to show you what I found recently. These are, being an antique and vintage dealer, I just look for things that catch my eye. What catches my eye? This caught my eye. I found this at a thrift store. Check this out. This is an AJ Renzi King Kong, like a ape blow mold. It's a bank. Look at this. And the bottom, it's got someone cut the hole to get your coins out. AJ Renzi was a maker of blow molded items. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, EJ Parker. This is a vintage blow mold. Look at this King Kong ape. It's a coin bank. So this thing I found at a thrift store for a couple bucks. These are really collectible, and you can see why. This damn thing is awesome. Look at this bit of plastic. This dates from like the mid 70s, early 80s. You would see this kind of stuff at drugstores. When I was a kid, you could see this stuff, out and about at neighborhood drugstores. So this is going off the King Kong vibe, obviously. It's a coin bank. AJ Renzi, speaking of AJ Renzi, he makes these things, right? Those of you who love Halloween, probably might know the AJ Renzi. If you collect Halloween, AJ Renzi made these really iconic blow molded candy buckets, right? For kids in the 80s and for adults in the 2020s, like me and you. So this is like the company that made this. I found this at a thrift store for a couple bucks. This decided, do you collect Beanie Babies? There are Beanie Babies around me. Let me just say, I don't personally collect them, but I have people in my family that do and did. Do you collect them? I know they're difficult because people speculated they're gonna be worth a lot of money in the late 90s, and when everyone does that at the same time, the value goes down, unfortunately. I have this. This is not a Beanie Baby, but it's similar era. This is a Furby. I found this at another thrift store about a year ago, and I put this away in a box in my shop. Hello, everybody. I used to try to get rid of my collection. Yeah, I think everyone blew butterflies, and thanks for your comment. I think everyone's trying to get rid of the Beanie Babies, and I know there's like a Princess Diana one. There's a few rare ones, but I don't know. But again, it's a problem when everyone collects something at the same time, and they're all speculating on the value to go up. It doesn't go up. Another example of that is baseball cards in the 1900 through 75, no one really collected baseball cards for value, just for fun. That's why you have Mickey Mantle's worth hundreds of $1,000s. Babe Ruth's worth hundreds of $1,000s. But and in the 80s and 90s, people speculated on their cards doing the same in the future, like now in the 2020s. But everyone did that, and they saved their baseball cards, so now they're worth nothing. Those like the ones from the 80s, 90s, and till today. There's a few, but they're not worth a lot. You subscribed. All right. Poseidon's Kid, thank you for subscribing. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm a vintage and antique dealer full time, and my passion is antique and vintage and art and music and creativity. So if you like that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. So this is a very iconic toy. This is a Beanie Baby from Tiger Electronics, 1999. These were everywhere in the late 90s. This was an it toy. These things, now the deal was with these things, and I have another one. They spoke. They would, and these work too, and they scare the shit out of me. Like you put batteries in, they're like, and they'll talk to each other, and they'll talk to you, and they'll kind of come alive, and they learn stuff. I forget what they learned. I think back in there was even like a scare within the U.S. government, like in like 1999. The government said you couldn't keep these on your desk if you like worked for the government because they thought it was like some kind of device that was spying on people. You never know, but these are made by Tiger. These are super iconic. They made these again. They reissued these in around like 2015, I think, and they gave them like digitalized. But these are the original ones from the late 90s. They're collectible, depending upon the color and the condition. These are tagged, so someone had the foresight to know that these would be collectible in the future. Now these, I mean, what are they worth? I haven't priced Furbies in a while. I do buy and sell these in my vintage and antique store, Vintage Classic Solutions, my eBay store. I don't know, I forget. They could be worth around 30, 40, 50 bucks. I don't think more than 50. But if you have a unique one, then of course it could be worth more. And of course condition is always king, like King Kong, right? This is an AJ Renzi blow molded coin bank. I found that at a thrift store. That made my month finding that. I love that kind of stuff. All right, so let's look at this. I found this at another thrift store. That light's kind of. This is a black and white photo, obviously, of a gorgeous woman, and I like this kind of thing because it's if you want to repurpose it for arts and crafts, or just to put on your wall, if you want to frame it, right, with a gilded frame, or even just paint this gold. I like gold frames. Maybe you can tell. This, when I bought before I bought this, I took a closer look, and if you can see here, Old Hollywood, yeah, it's actually signed. Old Hollywood is a genre of collectibles. Thank you, Blue Butterflies. This is actually signed by this actress, and it's hard to see. Maybe you can see. I don't think they saw that in the store when I bought it. I didn't really recognize it until I got home. It's signed right there. So I just tore the price tag off this recently. I have to do a research about who this is, but this is an actual signed photo from Old Hollywood. How about that? That was a few bucks. So that will look great on the wall, right? Maybe I'll hang it up. Why not? Let's just hang it up because I don't want to break it. Now watch while I say that it flies off the wall. I'm just going to put it down over here. I'm your host, EJ Parker. You are live with me in my vintage and antique store, Vintage Classic Solutions. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe. We do this all the time. This is another old photo I found at a thrift store for a couple bucks. These items sell well because of country club aesthetic. Of course, horse racing, the sport of kings. Goodwill stores are really good places to find vintage thongs. Things. I think you can find. You probably can find vintage thongs there, but I think they meant vintage things. Yes, Goodwill's great. Salvation Army, the mom and pop ones are great. Flea markets are great. Things. Yeah, I know. I got it. Blue Butterfly. I was just playing around. This is signed actually. Is there a 1965, July 30th, 1965. Waterford Park, Royal Foxy. There's all these, 1 mile and 70 yards. This is great, and it's signed. So this will look great in a bar, country club, tavern, someone's house. Isn't that cool? I like it too. Yeah, that's so cool. Um, so yeah, old photos are great, and then the frames, and then like yeah, Blue Butterfly said, you know, Goodwill, you know, these thrift stores are great because yes, you can find this, and then the photo is great subject matter, and it's signed, so it brings an element of history and realism to it. But this frame's kind of cheap, so yeah, you could just look in the frame aisle and get a nice gilded frame, like a Baroque style frame, like over the top gold, which I love. This is from Goodwill, this naive, unsigned painting. But I love the over the top gilded, golden frame. So I would look for one of those to put on this, and it would just look really, I think, really nice. I want to make sure my phone is in airplane mode in case someone calls when I'm hanging out with you, my friends. I'm your host, EJ Parker, live in my vintage and antique store, Vintage Classic Solutions. Please subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. That's an old photo from a racetrack. Isn't that cool? That was a couple bucks. I'm gonna sell this stuff eventually. Once I get around to, I don't know, getting around to it. I guess I have a lot of stuff, and you're gonna see this. It just never ends. I just realized it never ends. Look what I found at a flea market. The Godfather. This is like an old school paperback, right? The Godfather. Bam. I do collect like super old, fastest selling book in history. Wow. I do collect like antiquarian books from like the 1500s and 1600s, which I have, and I will do a show dedicated to those, but it takes time to research that and get my head around it because some's written in Latin and some of the books are written in early modern English, and you have to kind of get into it to be able to read it, even though you can understand it. Like there's weird things like the S, like the T's or F's. And like it's just there's some weird nuances to the writing that I kind of get my head into before I can just read it. And I want to do some live reading from that book. But back to this is 1969. 1969, Mario Puzo, The Godfather. That's a classic. What else we got? We got a lot. So this, I featured these next items once in a YouTube short, and people liked it, and I liked it. And I hope you like it too. What are these things? If you're a certain age, you'll know. You are 1 year old then. Blue butterflies, you youngster. Good for you. I was 9. So now you know how old me and Blue Butterfly are. So I was 9 in 1989. This is Batman. Bam, Batman. And so, check this out. Now, so that movie rocked my world, right? I want to become Batman. I even, I'll tell you a story that you'll think I'm crazy, but who gives a shit, right? The director, Tim Burton, right? He directed this movie. And like the Batmobile, so awesome, freaking Batmobile. About a year ago, like on Instagram, which I'm on also, you could there was a feature where you could just like if you were following someone or someone was following you, you could literally just like call them. Like if you hit the phone icon, it would call them. Now they have to pick up the phone and answer, or you could send them like a direct message, a DM. And I did that with a few artists, like well-known artists, and they were cool, and they got back to me about a few things I had questions about. So then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I want to be Batman, and I think Tim Burton should do another Batman movie. So I messaged Tim Burton. I'm like, hey, I want to be your Batman, and I like my photo of like one of my good photos, like all mysterious. I could be Batman. What the hell? Come on, man. Batman. I got all the stuff. Well, my stuff's vintage, but I can put a twist to it. So anyhow, so when this movie came out, it was revolutionary because Batman went from being kind of hokey in the 60s and 70s to being the fucking coolest thing on the planet. And he didn't have any superpowers. He was just, he was cut. He knew some martial arts, and he was smart, and he was rich, which helped him get his job done. But so when this movie came out, it was huge in the cinema, right? And then what happened was it took about 8-9 months for these things to go to VHS, which is this. All right, so you had to wait. But when it came out, where'd it go? It went to the VHS rental place, right? Remember this? In the wall, at least the ones in Northeast Ohio, the walls were just packed of these things. I mean, there's probably like 80 of them. And as a kid, I remember, and they were all rented out. And like you could take this movie home with you. That was a big deal. You know what I mean? To take this movie home with you. That it was still novel to take a movie that was semi-new and take it home. So when I go to Goodwill or like flea markets, I'll find these for like $1. And I'm like, I'll buy it because I'm going to do something with these. I don't know what the hell, but I just love it. It just brings me back to that. Look at that. It's just so good. The yellows and the blacks. God, man, they really hit a home run with this one. Batman. Who's that? Michael Keaton, right? Michael Keaton. Man, he had Beetlejuice and Batman. It's pretty good, right? So these are awesome. Blue Butterflies has a great question, and thank you for asking. At what age is items considered vintage, antique, and antiquity instead of junk? I like it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But to answer your question from an objective point of view, from how I do it in my store, something has to be at least 20 years old to be vintage, okay? So if you're 18 years old, you're not vintage. If you're 20 years old, congratulations, you're vintage. So 20 years old is vintage. 100 years old is antique. So if it's from 20 years old to 99, it's vintage. If it's 100 years old, it's antique. Now, and then they ask antiquity. So I do a lot of antiques and vintage. So that's within 20 to, antiques I have from the 1700s, 1600s. Like just for example, right here in front of you all is a bottle from 1720. So this bottle is from the year 1720. This bottle is older than the United States of America. If you can freaking believe that. I collect bottles with a passion. I draw these every day live on my channel. If you want to see me draw this bottle, I draw it live. It's like walking a tightrope. I do it live. I've been doing it for about a week or 2 weeks because I don't know, I'm just obsessed with it. But this bottle is from 1720. It's so old. I love it. I love it. It's like a time machine. And then this bottle, my newest bottle I got, this one. This is from 1750, so it's newer. I jokingly say newer, but this is from 1750. Now, you see that eyeball? Is that an eyeball? Lead-based. Can you say my name? Poseidon's Kid. Poseidon's Kid wants a shout out. Am I saying that right? Poseidon's Kid, yes. So this is my newest antique bottle. I found this off the coast of eBay late one night. It was storming, and but no, I found this on eBay from a dealer in in Key West, Florida. This was found in the sand. This was dug. This is an old Pirate rum bottle from around I think it's from around 1790 from my research. But you can't pinpoint it, but you can guesstimate based upon the shape. But I want to bring this up again. Lead-based. These are no, this is it's glass, and the reason why it's dark, it's because it's I got my rings on. I shouldn't have my rings on with glass. It's dark because it has iron oxide in. So during the glass making process, there was a lot of iron oxide in the glass or the sand, which made this color the way it is. This darkish. It's called black. The genre is called black glass, but as you can see, it's not black. It's muddy. It is a little bit black where it's thicker, but it's you see it's like swampy, amber, yellow, brown, awesome, green. Poseidon's Kid, what is your favorite color? Right, orange. I love orange. Orange to me is the color of like integrity or obsession, or I don't know. I just love orange. It's just vibrance. I love pumpkins because they're orange, I think. Good question. What's your favorite color? Poseidon's Kid, what's your favorite color? But these black glass bottles capture my imagination. Now, The odd thing is this. Now, I bought this bottle. I got this bottle in the mail from eBay about two or 3 days ago, and lately I've been really trying to focus my mind's eye and my imagination. And I urge everyone on my channel, that watch my channel, to use their imagination to follow your dream. Blue. All right, blue is a great color. Blue is very trustworthy. Blue is a very trustworthy color. It invokes feelings of honesty and trust, and it's also a beautiful color. So check this out. So I've been using my imagination and trying to tap into it to amplify my creativity for my YouTube channel and my antique store. And I'm also a musician, and I like to draw just for fun of it. So I got this in the mail a few days ago. I'm like, oh wow, look at this eyeball on this bottle. If you can, I don't know. I see his eyeball, but only a few days before I got this bottle, I drew this. I'm seeing like eyeballs, like emitting some kind of ray or something. And then I got this, and I'm like, oh wow, that looks just like the freaking thing I drew. Isn't that weird? Does that mean the Matrix is real? I don't know. But I mean, I keep bringing that up, but it's just that weird. I don't know. I am weird, and if you're weird too, good for you. We gotta be original and unique. That's what makes us beautiful, right? Because diamonds are not unique or rare. It rains diamonds on Neptune, and I think Uranus. Diamonds are marketed to us to seem rare, to be perceived as rare by people in suits at business meetings. Diamonds are not rare. You're rare. It doesn't rain you, Poseidon's kid, on Neptune, right? Blue butterflies, it doesn't rain you on Neptune, but it rains diamonds, right? It rains these shiny things. It doesn't rain you. Think about that. You are way more precious and way more valuable. I really mean that. And that's what I do for a living. I search for precious and valuable things, right? Rare, desirable antiques and vintage items. And I realize that it's you. You are the rare and desirable thing. So congratulations. Take care of yourself and follow your dream. So this bottle is... Now back to that question about lead-based bottle. So no, iron oxide made these bottles these colors, and it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg, because these bottles are dark and it helped preserve the wine or the oil or the medicines within. I have to get my onion bottle back because it's calling my name. I'm obsessed with this bottle. This bottle is this is like my muse. I bring it to the beach and we walk around. I don't know, it's weird, but this color helps preserve the wine inside, right? This is from 1730, 1720. Now, I've read in various history books that it was done on purpose to preserve the wine inside. But then I've also read that it was just a fluke of the iron oxide content, and it happened to be green. And then merchants realized, oh, wow, well, actually, it's good because it keeps the wine fresher. So I don't know. I mean, it's speculation. I've read both. I read both accounts, so I don't know. You can see the gorgeous detailing. I didn't really mean this to become a bottle video, but I'm obsessed with bottles, so here we go. You can see this thin lip that right there. And what that is a strand of molten glass the artisan just wrapped around. And that's when you would put your cork in. If you can see, you're looking into a bottle that's 250 years old, right? They put the cork in, and then you would affix like a wire, of course, and that would be your grip to your wire. Just like in a common champagne bottle. So it's just these small details just fascinate me because they're all unique and they're all different, like we are, right? What's it worth? Someone at that bottle looks like it's worth some money. This one is worth. I got this one for $130 US on eBay, which is a pretty good deal. They go for more, usually $250, depending upon the color and the aesthetic beauty. As I said before, I'll say it again: beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Pardon me, it took me 2 years to find this bottle. 2 years. Why? Because I wanted to find one at a certain price range under $150. So I gave myself a price challenge. And then I also wanted to find one that was beat up and scratched, but not completely, like non-transparent. I want some light to get through, so when I draw this bottle, I can feature some of the transparency, which makes it more challenging. But it's just simply gorgeous, and this part is sharp right here. This is called the pontil. It's supposed to be sharp. That's part of the production process. That helps you date it. It's supposed to be sharp, and what happens is sometimes folks think that, oh, it's broken. But no, it's supposed to be sharp. It's just the way the bottle was produced back in 1730 or 1720. And as you can see, I've just drawn this bottle. I'm gonna draw it today. This is one of my better ones. Never took a lesson. Just started drawing it. I just try to draw the shapes abstractly. But what I realized I think I have pareidolia. Thank you, Blue Butterflies. I gotta be careful how I say this. Pareidolia. I asked ChatGPT and it diagnosed me with this. It's when you see geometric shapes or patterns. Maybe some of you have this. Thank you. Yes, pencil. Yes. These are all pencil. I just drew this. This bottle. And I never practiced. I just drew it live, and I just been doing this. But after I drew this one day, I asked someone. I said, "Well, what's up with the triangles? Like, what does it mean in nature?" And they're like, "What the hell are you talking about, EJ?" I'm like, the triangles. Like, why are they in everything? And they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "I see triangles." And you can see my triangles in the shadows, and what I do, I try to blend them to make them into actual shadows like this. You know what I mean? Like, just to make it photorealistic. This bottle, right? I want to just make it. My goal is to make a photorealistic drawing of this bottle. But when I see this bottle, though, in my mind, I see this. I see triangles. So I asked ChatGPT, and it says I have pareidolia. And it's like a fluke in the brain when you see shapes and everything. And it doesn't have to be triangles. It could be anything, it says. But I happen to see triangles and everything, faces. So when I draw, I see these triangles, but then I have to blur them with my pencil to make this happen, to get it to where you can't see the triangles. So this bottle's been my inspiration, and I guess it helped me diagnose myself with this thing where you see patterns in everyday objects. I see triangles and everything. I don't know. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So that's the I have a lot of these bottles. If you like bottles, please subscribe to my channel. I'm obsessed with bottles. Sir, I am enjoying your time. It's Monday. I have a lot of things to do. I have to go. Have a wonderful day. Blue Butterflies, you have been a pleasure. Please come back. You're always welcome. We're open 24/7. So these are bottles. I'm going to leave one out because I love this thing. But no, I'm going to put it away. I'm nervous. I don't want to break it. Because you know what? These things have been around for 250 years. I don't want to be the doofus that breaks the damn thing. You know what I mean? And then do it live in front of the world. Like, oh, there's proof. This guy's Butterfingers. You know what I mean? Thank you, Blue Butterflies. You're great, too. I wish you a great day. Let's move on and see what else we found. What other magical items I found here at Vintage Classic Solutions. So I sold one of these last night. These are vintage Generation 1 My Little Ponies. I'm a man. When I was young, I was a boy. Boys didn't really play with My Little Ponies. Your friends that were girls had them. Your cousins had them. Girls love these things. I mean, look at this hair. The hair's cool. Look at that. Bam! Neon. These are, of course, collectible, and they've made a comeback. There's comic books, and they feature really cool colors. I'm so smart. Oh, you're so sweet. Poseidon's kid. You're so smart. No, I just love what I do. It inspires me to learn about it. These are made of that squishy vinyl. Very popular. I mean, these came out in the early mid-'80s. And then as they progressed, they got more and more colorful. And of course, they're collectible. Like the stamps on their leg there helps you figure out who they are. I need to learn more about these. So I need to learn more about like toys that were aimed at girls because they're collectible and I can't discriminate. I want to sell to everyone. Being this is how I, this is my living. So the more I know about vintage toys, no matter what the gender aim, the better. My sis has one of them. Yeah, I believe it. I bet everyone's sis has one or had one. Even they make these nowadays. There's knockoff ones you can find these at like a dollar store, like a cheap one that's like a ripoff. But these have the marking on the base, Hasbro, patent pending, Hong Kong. So toys made in Hong Kong. That's always it stops being produced there in like the mid early '80s. So it helps you date these. I don't think it gives me an exact date. Made in Hong Kong. This little one's cute. I sold one last night that was like a seahorse one. I forget if these are I gotta list these. If I haven't listed these yet, they'll be coming soon to my store. So stay tuned for that. My Little Pony. I need to learn more about the characters, and there's always one or two that are really collectible. For whatever reason, that one's hair is really cool. Bam. Let's see what else we got. Hey EJ, what'd you find? Back to Batman. This guy, Batman's been in a battle. This is a gold one. Kenner. This I think I probably found at the bottom of a junk pile at a flea market. Like I dove in on a hot summer day, like cannonball, like junk pile. Like, look what I found. Like, yeah. This is a DC Comics, was 1990, Golden Batman. These next items are interesting. Now check this out. These are old. These are kind of obscure. These are toy soldiers from, I'd say based upon their gear, I don't know, 20s, 30s, and they're made of pulp, like paper pulp. It's not wood, it's not rubber, it's not plastic. They're made of like this wood chip. It's so weird. I love it. It's like, I love textures. It's made of, if you can see what they did, these folks, they're really ingenious. they're crafty. So they took wood pulp and chips from any factory that would have leftover wood chips, which is probably all of them back then, and they mixed that wood pulp with resin, like a glue, and it made this. It's like a wood pulp resin. It's a weird texture. It's kind of light. It's kind of porous, but it's not. I don't know. It's weird, right? It's not plastic. There's not really a smell to it, but it's a wood pulp, and they're all hand painted. You can find these. I mean, if you see them at an antique store here and there, you can find them in lots on eBay. I've always liked these things, and I guess I don't know why. And that's part of the production process there, that little hole. But I like how they're hand painted because that gives them all unique, just little characteristics, little character. So those are cool. And what is this? Oh, sweet. This is awesome. This is a rubber toy soldier. I thought I didn't have one of these. This is probably made by Auburn. Oh, hell yeah. Discovery. This is, how old is this? This could be right after World War II. It could be like 45, or like 47, 48. The rubber underneath is black, which means it's synthetic, which probably means late World War II. A wounded soldier. Wow, what a cool toy. I'm happy I found that. So we have those. Those are cool, and they're unique. They got more of them. They also make like cowboy and Indian sets, and they make but the soldier ones are the real popular. The real popular toy. All right, so now I had to go to Target today, and I spend so much time in antique stores and thrift stores that when I go into like a modern contemporary store like normal people, I feel bizarre. I'm like, this place is weird. Everything's new, and you can't bargain for prices, and music's kind of annoying there. But anyhow, so I bought this. I was like, wow, what is this? It's a Halloween thing, at Christmas time, which is cool. This is a Ben Cooper toy. This is I don't buy these kind of things. I don't buy like new toys geared at old people like me, but it's a NECA monster figure with costume and mask. Ben Cooper. It's this adorable little girl vampire, and it's a little action figure. I mean, this has to be geared at people like what 40 to I don't know 55. And what got me, well, I had to buy this. It was only $19. It has this blow mold pumpkin, and I have these everywhere in my life. I love them. I do sell a few blow mold pumpkins, but I keep a lot of them. But she's got her little jack-o'-lantern blow mold candy bucket. She's a little like vampire lady, and I love the back, all these little costumes. I mean, this is what we wore in the '80s. And one good job for NECA for giving realistic skin tone. You finally have some African American skin tone. There's some different color Caucasian skin tones and Hispanic. So good job, NECA, for being realistic. That's good. The graphics are cool. Again, I don't buy these kind of things usually, but I had to buy. I bought more than one. I love the devil. This is so cute. I love the graphics. The little guy's got his devil on, and there's a bag. This one doesn't have a jack-o'-lantern bucket, but it's got a candy bag for his trick-or-treating. I love it. I mean, I feel guilty saying it, but I kind of love this damn thing. I love it. What's your favorite holiday? Halloween. Poseidon's kid. What's your favorite holiday? I love Halloween because it invokes memories of just having so much fun as a kid, and going out, getting candy with your friends, and being creative with your costume. It was more fun to like make your own like costume, like be a pirate, like put things together to become a pirate or a zombie. And then as an adult antique and vintage dealer, Halloween stuff sells more. Mine too. Cool. Well then, see, we're in the right place, Poseidon's kids. See, yeah, great minds think alike. And as an antique and vintage dealer, I'll tell you this. Halloween stuff sells, bam, like that pumpkin up there, the paper mache, those are worth a lot of money. I mean, that's a couple $100, some of them, and they're gorgeous and they go up in value. Those are from the one above my head directly. That's from like the 30s, 40s. Those things sell so fast. Vintage stuff from like the 80s sell fast for Halloween, but the Christmas stuff sits, and it sits. Christmas stuff has to be very rare and very desirable or very old and obscure to sell, because there is so much Christmas stuff compared to Halloween stuff. You can have one Halloween item to 20 Christmas items. When you go into a thrift store, you'll see a whole row of Christmas items. They'll sit there, where Halloween stuff moves, and if it's old, it's gone. It's just because Halloween or Christmas has become so over commercialized, all that stuff was made in China, in Yiwu, China. I've actually been to the city. I used to live in China. I actually been to the city in China called Yiwu. 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 And this Yiwu is a city where everything is made. Like everything, like every Christmas ornament from like 1985 till I think maybe even till now. For some reason, Yiwu, like in China, for some reason, all the big cities have their own specialty. Like one city might be the place where they make sunglass frames, right? And then some city might be where they make the zippers, right? Well, Yiwu is where they make Christmas ornaments. And I had a gig there as a musician back in 2014. And it was a gig at some bar, and it was like June. It was like an hour south of Shanghai that we drove there. And then we get there, and then we hit driving through the streets. It's all Christmas stuff in the middle of June, and it's because, and I'm like, wait, it's because everything that's Christmas is made in Yiwu, China. And I saw it. It was bizarre seeing just Santa Claus and reindeer and snowmen in China in July, but it's just there every day is what they do. For some reason, Yiwu got elected to be the Christmas capital of China. There you go. I forgot how I got on that tangent. But these things, I kind of had to do it. I mean, they were $19.99 each, so it's affordable. You know what I mean? If it was like $30, I'd be like, no. So you can buy a couple. I'm gonna sock them a few away. That's the dealer bugging me. I'm gonna put a few away and try to sell these, before I kick the bucket. Who knows when that'll be? Hopefully not too soon. But you can see how cute these are. I mean, it's definitely unique. Little action figure kids in their costumes. And again, I love how they have the different skin tones, different. It's good. And here, so one more look at these. Here's a little girl and a little boy. A little devil and a little vampire girl. All right. Let's see what else we got. Uh-oh. I know those are... What the hell is that? Oh, yeah. So this with Batman. These I had as a kid. These are the Batmobile. Come on. Heck yeah. Batmobile. So the Batmobile in that movie 1989, which you see behind me, it just made Batman so much cooler. Having that Batmobile and all the gizmos and how cool it looked, and the rocket in the back, and driving through like the rainy leaves and the caves with Kim Basinger. So those are fun. I don't think they're worth that much money. Some of the Batman stuff can be worth big money. This one's dusty. But I believe these Earl ones from 1989 are just more of a nostalgic thing than anything else. This is a really beautiful item that I've featured on my channel. This is the Madonna. This is a Virgin Mary. This is a statuette or a small statue made in Japan. This is mid-20th century. This is a very gorgeous look. What's Poseidon's kid asked me, what is your favorite food place? That's a weird question. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with food. I don't know. I don't like eating food. Is that weird? I had a traumatic experience in my life about a year ago. Someone close to me died. And from some reason, after that day, I quit eating meat. Like, it wasn't like I became a vegetarian for, like, political reasons. It was, meat turned me off. So I can't handle meat now at all. Any kind of meat. Don't want to see it. Don't want to smell it. Don't want to touch it. And I don't like eating around people now. I don't like eating around people. So if I'm with my family, I'll eat like over the sink, or I'll just eat a little bit and then go somewhere else and eat in my shop or something, because I don't like eating around. I think eating's a weird thing. I don't know. I think about it too much. So to answer your question, I go to Trader Joe's and I buy like bread and pistachios and cheese, and I don't know. That's about it. I gotta like force myself to eat. Oh no, and I buy like these protein bars. I have to manage enough protein, otherwise I'll die. I'll shrink, right? So I have to eat enough protein every day so I can build my muscle when I work out. But I also don't want to die because I keep losing weight, and pretty soon I'll, like, So I have to get like, I think 55 grams of protein. So I get these things from Trader Joe's. They're called barbells. They're protein bars. They're pretty good. Yours KFC. I used to eat a lot of KFC in China. KFC is really big in China. It's big everywhere. But whenever I want a taste of home, I used to get KFC in China. But they didn't have the mashed potatoes and gravy, so that was a drag. I like the mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah, me and food is weird. I don't know what's going on with food. But those protein bars are really helpful because they give me energy and they'll fill me up, even though I have to like begrudgingly eat them because they're like chocolate bar, and I don't like sweets anymore for some reason. So I don't know. Food and EJ have taken a weird turn. Now I have to force myself to eat in order to stay alive. So it's just, I have to manage that I eat enough every day. It's weird. I have to remind and I'm really busy. I'm surrounded by antique vintage items, which I love. So I'm always researching them. I'm always learning about something, always learning about a toy or a vase or a bottle or a statue or a religious book or a painting. And I'm always doing it my whole life until I go to bed. And then I wake up, I start doing it again. So I'm always just so obsessed with what I'm doing that I have to remind myself to eat and sleep. I'll just keep going, you know what I mean? So this is a statuette of the Virgin Mary. This is a Madonna. Madonna is Italian for my lady. Madonna means my lady, which is a saying of admiration for the Virgin Mary. And this has got a gorgeous, very dreamy aesthetic to it. Again, this is made in Japan. Now it's got the obligatory Goodwill chip. A lot of times, I mean, every statue's always broken at Goodwill. I think they have to do it in the back. They got to, it's part of the policy. They got to break it a little bit. I'm joking, but this does actually say the Madonna and made in Japan. Is made by Lefton China. Lefton makes statuettes of all kinds, and the religious ones are quite nice. This one I will sell. I featured this one on a YouTube short in the snow, and it was gorgeous. Are you having a good day? Yes, thank you for asking. Are you? Yes, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day with all of you. Please subscribe if you like vintage and antique and being creative and sharing our energy and positivity to make our dreams come true. So this is a very nice statuette. People buy these. Now, if you're an antique and vintage dealer or you want to be, don't hesitate to try to resell a statue that's broken or chipped, or even the head's been broken and repaired, because good, Poseidon's kid's having a good day. Awesome, I'm happy to hear that. I can feel your energy, for real. People buy these because they like to repair them. They lovingly get the clay and reshape it, or they'll just repaint them, and it gives them something to do. I know churches buy from me quite often. I sell a lot of vintage statuary, religious statuary of all kinds. And I have churches that buy it from me very often. And a lot of times they're broken, but people they don't matter. They want to repair it, or they're still happy with it as it is. This is another reason why, if you ever go to a religious statuary store, which I've checked out a few times, the items are very expensive. Statues of religious, like Catholic saints and Christ and the Virgin Mary, they can be very expensive, even resin ones. So I think people can save a lot of money by buying secondhand ones, and I sell a lot of these in my store. This is a very gorgeous one. Again, Madonna means My Lady in Italian, which took place. They started calling her that during the Renaissance, I believe, as a sign of admiration to her. So this is gorgeous. I will sell that in my store eventually. I have to get around to listing everything. The weather's been shifting a lot lately, so I have to kind of figure out when and where to list. I featured these yesterday, but I'll show you a few cool things in here. Guys, you want to look slick? Get a tie clip for your tie. Have a tie nearby. Let me show you. I'm gonna start selling these, and they're really affordable. These are vintage, so we can wear vintage too, right? You get your tie, your clip. Now I wouldn't recommend blue with black. I like blue with like a dark brown. But my point is, it looks great. And if you're you get a wedding, or if you're playing bass at a gig, your tie stays on you. If you're eating dinner, you got a date, your tie stays nice and snug. It won't get in your food, and it looks smart. These are awesome. I find these. I'm gonna start selling these in my eBay store, Vintage Classic Solutions. I also got these. Now I'm gonna repurpose these skeleton keys, right? I love skeleton keys. Don't we love skeleton keys? Don't you wish keys still look like this for your car? So I'm gonna use these as keychains. Why not? You can dip these in paint to make them more visible if you need to see them from a distance. But put this on your key as a keychain, right? I'm gonna do that for my antique store and for my car. So you can get these out and about, and you can just find various. I just look for ones that look different, right? So these are cool. Ooh, Christmas. This is so. Now we're moving to the small stuff. I'll show this again. I don't specialize in Christmas stuff, so to say, but when it catches my eye, I do. Costume jewelry can be great. Costume jewelry can be really good if it's the right maker. So at a thrift store, at a it got me at a flea market. Keep your eyes open and learn a few names that are collectible, because this is hard. There we go. Bam. Look at that. Sideways, like an arrow. Hey, it gave me an idea. If it's the right maker, you can make a lot of money. Way more than you think for a costume jewelry piece. Here we have another. This is another tie clip. Let's get your lucky horseshoe, a Western vibe. This is another tie clip. This is like a military vibe, like a globe and a heraldic eagle. Tie clip. Guys or gals, your tie, bam. Just gonna clip it on. I'm gonna sell. I cleaned all these. I'm gonna sell them. I use an ultrasonic cleaner to clean these things. All right, this is cool. This is Art Deco. Look at that. It's got the mother of pearl inlay. Is that visible? Now, why do I say this is mother of pearl? Or why do I say this is Art Deco? Well, I did some research. Art Deco celebrates angles and design, whereas Art Nouveau celebrates nature and the human form. So if you find, I don't know, it could be an advertisement and it's old-timey, like early 19th century. If it features like ivy around the edges and like a naked woman in a garden with like her hair like curly, like the curls, that's Art Nouveau. If it's angular, like bunka bunka bunka, like kind of like this, like there's angles everywhere, that is Art Deco. That's the difference. Sometimes folks confuse it or they just mix them together. But if you see nature or humans and it's old, like from the early 1900s, it's Art Nouveau. If you see angles and heavy design elements, it's Art Deco. I don't know. This is cool. I found this old lock and key from Germany. This is, locks have this allure to them. I don't know. Have a good day. All right. See ya. This is made in Germany. A little lock and key. Let's see if it works. Live. All right, let's see. It hasn't been opened ever. I mean, not ever, but since I've owned this. Let's see. Is it gonna go? Probably needs oil. Oh, come on. It's made in Germany. It's gotta work. I'm sure this thing works. Probably just needs some oil. This thing I found in like a bargain bin in a barn. Where's the... I don't know. To be continued on that. And then last but not least, in this little magical bag, I found this ancient Chinese coin, which could be real. It's copper. When I lived in China, I'd see these at various antique malls by the foot. I mean, just strings of them. It's a good shot of it. And to be honest, even though I collect coins and I lived in China, I'd never dived into these because they kind of seem a little bit intimidating. It's ancient, it's a classical Chinese on that, which I'm not really well versed in. You can see the calligraphy there. But I think this is genuine. And you'd say, well, how come, it's worth $1 million? No, it's not. Some could be quite rare, but again, I mean, when I was in Shanghai, China, I used to go to antique stores there all the time, and I see dealers that would have. That's why there's a hole. You can put them on strings. See that hole? You would just string them up, and you have it's like a belt of coins, of copper coins. So I would see that. So I know they're not rare, but I mean, they have some value, and historically, it's quite interesting, right? Let me see what else. I have something else that I wanted to show, but where did I put it? Well, I'll show this one more time because this is gorgeous. This is a vintage rubber toy car. This is an open racer. This thing is just so freaking iconic. Look at this toy. This is such a good looking toy. It's a chunk of rubber, right? Look at that. Made by Auburn Rubber. This probably dates from like the 50s. Mid to late 50s, a super iconic design. Now I want to feature this for decorating. Hangs on your wall, or your bar, or your man cave, or whatever. Those will look great. Let Let me think. I think that was the look at all I had for this look through. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe. I do this a lot. I have not millions, but a ton of stuff to look through. Can't do it all in one day. So this has been fun. Until next time, thanks for checking in.